Hi everybody, happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a really great week and thanks for hopping in tonight. So tonight we're talking about daily routines, and we've talked about healthy habits before. We've talked about the way to use oils for sleep and emotions and all those things, and this is really some of that all combined, but then maybe a few new things. And certainly I'm going to cover off some of the stuff that we're doing through the detox week this week, which is going amazing, by the way. This detox is a really great opportunity to just kickstart, a wellness routine if you're not already in one. It's a great way to maybe level up if you already, do some things that are really supportive for your body and help your digestion and that sort of thing, but also maybe you just pick up something new to add to your wellness routine. And so I'll cover off some of those things that we're doing through the detox this week. But yeah, so we're gonna kick off with the usual recap of how to use our oils, what they're good for, looking for quality and purity, because those are always important. Whenever we talk about the oils, we want to make sure that we're using the best quality. Otherwise, all the wonderful things that I'm talking about, are not going to either be helpful for you, supportive, or effective. So we really want to make sure that we're using the best quality oils when we're integrating them into our health and wellness. Okay, so we're going to kick it off with the recap of what essential oils are and what they're not. So they are not an oil in the traditional sense of an olive oil or a castor oil, coconut oil, anything like that. That's usually the press from a seed or a fruit. They are a distillation, usually a steam distillation. Sometimes it's a press, like citrus is a press of a rind, but generally they are a steam distillation of a part of the plant. So not always all the plant. Either it could be the root, the stem, the bark, the leaf. It could be any part of that plant. And what we're looking for is the chemical constituents in that particular part of the plant that's going to help us and support us in the way that we're looking for. And so when we say essence, well, we say essential oils, that's really harnessing the essence of the plant. And what we're doing is harnessing those properties that the plant naturally uses for their own defense mechanisms against pests and disease. Also, the, say, aroma of a floral is what actually attracts the bees for pollination, that sort of thing. So when we're looking at capturing the essence of the plant, we're capturing those qualities as well. And so we're really harnessing the most amazing properties from nature. And they're aromatic. So aromatic meaning that they will evaporate quickly, but also that they're these super small sort of molecules. And that's one of the reasons they work so well in our bodies, is because they are so small. They're able to get into our cells and travel through our bloodstream and really be able to move around the body, sort of seamlessly. And because that's nature, and we're designed to, as humans, interact with nature, and we were meant to survive off plants, and so those are the things that are naturally there to support our bodies. When we talk about three cool things about essential oils, the first is that they're 100% safe and natural. And when we talk about safe and natural, again, we're only talking about the doTERRA oils, because those are the ones that we have an understanding of the purity and the quality associated with those oils. Otherwise, I can't also really speak to that, but certainly when we're talking about the doTERRA oils, they are 100% safe and natural, and safe for all age groups. So you can use them for infants, you can use them for the elderly. It's all, again, in the dilution. So we'll talk a little bit about dilution when we talk about the topical application, but really also that they just pack a punch, right? So the essential oils, like we talked about, they're being these tiny molecules, but they're so concentrated. So 1 drop of peppermint oil would be the equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea in terms of you know, the impact or the potency. So you can also see how if you use, say, like a turmeric to support part of your wellness, you may get more effectiveness or more bang for your buck, I'd like to say, from using the turmeric oil or the turmeric capsules versus trying to take it in a turmeric powder form where you're going to have to just consume that much more. And turmeric can be a little bit messy as well, and it can stain things and that sort of thing. So being able to use and harness the power of turmeric in an oil version, again, is just another way to use oils to support over sort of, you know, using traditional herbs. More effective than traditional and modern approaches. So when we look at what we have on the market today in terms of pharmaceuticals, a lot of them come with these sort of side effects. And what that sometimes can do is create these secondary problems. So you take a medication for one thing and you end up having a secondary condition. So now you're on to a second medication. And you see people who take, like, you know, 10 or 15 sort of different medications because they're all trying to effectively fight each other's side effects. And the wonderful thing when you take essential oils is they always work synergistically together. They create a sense of balance and homeostasis in the body instead of creating some sort of, you know, wildly sort of over impact or an under impact, right? There's always this sense of balance with the oils. So you really do get the benefit there over modern approaches in a lot of respects. And they're also cheaper than traditional options. When you think about the cost of the oils being sort of just pennies a drop, like a lemon is like maybe 5 cents a drop. Lavender might be a little bit more than that, but really they are so effective. And something as simple as an earache, you would have the ability to use that sort of tea tree and lavender combination for an earache, which traditionally you might have to sort of seek you know, medical advice and be able to you know, then go get a prescription and that sort of thing, and then you've got the side effects to whatever that prescription is. So we really have the ability to be sort of our own wellness advocates and be proactive in looking for our own solutions in the first instance. And again, just not to overwhelm the medical system. And I would never say that oils are a replacement for traditional medicine. There's certainly a reason and a purpose for Western medicine. It's just, if you're going to, you know, have to go to the doctors every time you have a sniffle, it gets expensive and it's just not necessary. You can really sort of deal with some of those things with proper diet, nutrition, making sure you're looking after yourself, living a healthy lifestyle. And when you do feel something coming on, going to some more, you know, non-traditional options like essential oils, like neti pots, like all of the things. When we talk about tongue scraping and some of those tonight, that comes from the Ayurvedic medicine, sort of Eastern medicine. And there's really so many amazing options there to really support your health, you know, sort of before you go to pharmaceuticals or any sort of invasive procedures. So one of the things, or I guess 3 of the ways you can use essential oils are topically, aromatically, and internally. And when we talk about aromatic, and I'm going to go rudimentary for those of you who are new to the class. But so this is a diffuser, and it's pretty simple. There is a reservoir here for water, and there's always like sort of a fill line, and you literally would just put in a little bit of distilled water, filtered water, something clean, because obviously this is now going to go into the air. You can add 3 to 4 drops of your favorite oil in here, and you can't go wrong in terms of mixing oils. There are no 2 oils you put together that are going to sort of blow up, self-combust, or just mix funny, other than they just might not smell great together. But one of my tests when you're trying to mix oils is you would take the caps off, say the 2 oils that you want to blend, take them off, and then just sort of rub them under your nose a little bit and sort of see if they kind of smell nice together. And if so, feel free to blend them. So 2 drops of each, 3 drops of one. I'm always posting different diffuser blends on my Instagram, so you can check those for recipes that are sort of tried and true if you're not so creative and you don't want to risk it, but really just have fun with it. So again, you put a couple drops in the diffuser and then you pop the lid back on and you can let that run. And most of the diffusers, this one doesn't have any of the numbers on it or anything. It's more of a sleek model, but a lot of them will show you that you can use them for 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. They have different sort of run times. And also some of them come with colored lights or no lights or what have you. So this is one that I keep in the bedroom beside my bed, and this is what I use to diffuse before bed, and we'll talk about that for our evening routine. And then to clean these, you always want to clean your diffusers maybe once a week. Super simple. Take the cap off, dump out the water, give it a couple of pumps of like your On Guard foaming hand soap with a little bit of water. Just let that rinse in there and then rinse and wipe it out. And that's totally easy. You can also do, if you've neglected them for a little bit and they need a little bit more cleaning, you can fill them up with a little bit of vinegar and a little bit of water, and then just let it run for a couple seconds to clean that little element, and then again wipe them out. But they're pretty low maintenance. They'll last you a few years at least if you look after them properly, and you have to really kind of get some that are good quality. I have a combination of doTERRA diffusers and also a few that I found on Amazon. You just have to be careful to spend just about maybe $40–45 will get you a good diffuser. Anything less than that may not hold up, especially if you use them frequently. So that's the aromatic option to diffuse. You can also use it, the oils aromatically, something like Breathe, which is a respiratory blend. If you were congested, you would be able to use that in, say, a warm bowl of water and put a couple drops in, you know, the towel over your head and do a nice steam inhalation that way. Really great to open up your airways. Or something simple like wild orange. And you have a bottle of wild orange sitting on your desk and you need a little pick-me-up, you can literally just wave it under your nose and do a really great inhalation. A couple drops in the palm of your hand, rub them together, cup it over your nose, and again, do an inhalation. And you'd be amazed at the impact of an aromatic experience with oils. It can impact mood. It can actually change your body chemistry. Just a simple inhalation of those aromatic molecules will be found in your bloodstream about 20 minutes after your inhalation. So there is, you know, there is science behind this, and there is impact and a physiological aspect to the aromatic use. So even if you're not comfortable with, say, taking your oils internally, you can get some benefits from the aromatic experience as well. It also purifies and cleans the air. So really a win-win over using some sort of traditional, you know, household spray or something that's generally full of toxins. So topical application is a really great one. So topical, you're going to be looking to support your skin, but you're also going to be looking to support your body internally. So there is a blend that's great for sort of muscle and relaxation. There's a massage blend. There's a blend that you would use. So something like, say, just something simple like a frankincense or the turmeric. Actually, turmeric's really great for your joints. And so, you know, anyone who is struggling with sort of joint pain, any sort of muscular issues, you can use a couple drops of any of those oils and apply them topically, and they're going to go straight to that place. Again, the lovely thing about using something topical is instead of using something like an Advil or, you know, something that's again going to have to travel through your entire body to get to the place it needs to go, you use your oils topically, and then it's going directly where you need it. And so it's more effective and, you know, works a little bit quicker and less impact on your stomach and your gut flora, because taking those sorts of, again, over-the-counter sort of medications are very hard on your system, on your digestive system, and on the gut flora that we need to maintain for our overall health and wellness. So there's also a way to use something called DigestZen topically, and that's a digestive blend that can be taken internally, but also could be used really nicely topically as well, and especially great for the application for small children. If they have an upset tummy, they have, car sickness, any of those things, the Digestive Blend is amazing for that. And you would just put a couple drops on the palm of your hand, again with a little bit of, say, fractionated coconut oil, or an olive oil, or jojoba, anything that you like to use on your skin already, and massage that on the tummy. That also works lovely for women who are expecting and they have morning sickness. That's actually one of the favorites amongst that group, is the Digestive Blend. So that's the topical application. And then you get into the internal application. And again, there are lots of sort of, well, there's two camps actually on this. It's that, you're not meant to ingest oils. And then there is the science and research behind using doTERRA oils for that sort of support. And again, we're just talking about pure plant matter that has been distilled, and the quality and the purity is there. When you look at the challenges with using just any essential oil internally, I would advise against it if you don't actually know what's in the bottle. That is the risk, that the industry is unregulated, and so they can pretty much put whatever they want on the bottle. They can label it 100% pure lavender. It could be 5% pure lavender. And so unless you are sure you know the sourcing and the standards, the quality testing that's been done on the oils, I wouldn't suggest using them internally. Now, I use mine internally all day long, and I'll talk about that as we go through the daily routine. But yeah, certainly so many benefits to using your oils internally. Okay, so research shows that having a routine creates both mental and physical wellness. And I've always been a person that likes routine, and I think that's one of the reasons this whole last few months have been a little bit challenging for me, because I actually quite like my routine, and I had to sort of shift it up and try to be a little bit more flexible and adaptable with what my routine was going to be. But now I'm in the groove of it. I've created a new routine, which I'm loving. And but it really is important to sort of set your day. And if you can start your day in control, then you feel in control for the rest of your day. And you can imagine if a scenario where you sleep through your alarm and then you sort of miss breakfast because you still have to get out of the door at a certain time, or you leave a little bit later, and so that means you hit a little bit more traffic, and that raises some anxiety for you, all those things. And then so by the time you get to the office, say in the morning, you are already feeling like you're behind the 8 ball, right? So having that sort of routine that makes you feel in control for a little bit while you still can, and I find those morning hours are really mine before everybody else gets out of bed, before the emails start flying in, before people start having expectations of you. You are in control of those first few hours of your day, and that can be so great to your mindset and how you will then proceed through the rest of the day. So a couple reasons to have a routine. It does reduce stress. It makes sure that you actually get to the things that are important to you. So if you build them into your schedule, then you'll get to do them. And that's why I've always been a person who exercises in the morning, because I find that if I leave exercise till the evening, there's chances of something coming up that mean I don't do it are greater in the evening than they are in the morning. So because exercise is one of the things I value, I make sure I prioritize it in the morning, and then I don't have to compromise on that. Also, I like to try to front load some of the self-care in the morning, again, just because the evenings can be a little bit more unpredictable, or you've got activities with the kids and that sort of thing. So those morning hours are really when I try to get in a lot of my self-care routine. And self-care often gets a bad rep, especially for moms who feel like they're being selfish, or they're cutting short some time that they could be spending with the kids, or doing the dishes, or something else that clearly must be more important than their own self-care. But really, your self-care is paramount, because it allows you to be your best self, which then means you bring your best self to the rest of the party, right? You bring your best self to work and to your family. So making sure that you look after yourself. And it's similar to, I heard this sort of analogy in terms of a racehorse, right? And if you have a racehorse and you rely on that horse to bring in the income and win the race, you're going to treat that horse well, right? You're going to make sure that they get the best food and they get the right exercise and that they get rest just before the big race and all those things. So we do those things for ourselves so that we can perform. And having that morning routine, also make sure that you're not over scheduled, right? So again, if you've scheduled in the things that are most important in those first few hours, it means that you can then say no to some other things that might, again, overrule what you have sort of set out for yourself and what you value most. So I thought I'd talk you through a little bit about my sort of morning, well, probably mostly my daily routine and how I incorporate the oils through that. But let's start with the morning and some of the rituals that, for those of you who are doing the cleanse with us this week, these might be new to you, and they also might be something that you've been doing for years. So the very first thing that I kind of do in the morning, kind of put my feet on the ground, and then I do like a quick little stretch, just 2 seconds, right? Get into the restroom, and I start with a tongue scrape. So this is called a tongue scraper, if you've never seen one or haven't used one before. This, again, comes from Ayurvedic medicine. And the principle behind this is as you sleep through the night, you have this collection of sort of toxins and, you know, whatever's kind of coming up through your digestive system there's that film that's on your tongue. And the idea of this is to scrape that off. So you start with this in the back of your mouth. So, and you go to the back of your mouth without choking yourself. And I've never choked myself, honestly. It feels weird the first time you do it, but it's fine. Put it there and then drag it forward. And you do that about 10 times until it's coming clean. And you will be really grossed out about the amount of stuff that comes off your tongue in the morning. But the idea is that all that stuff that's sitting on your tongue overnight, if the first thing you do is go down, you know, downstairs or to the kitchen, I guess, depending if you have it upstairs, go to the kitchen and chug back a coffee, you've put all of that, which was sitting in your mouth all night long, down into your digestive system. So the principle here is to scrape it out, and so that your digestive tract is receiving clean, sort of clean delivery of the coffee or the water or whatever you're having. So after I tongue scrape, then I brush my teeth with the doTERRA On Guard toothpaste, which is fluoride free. So for those of you who feel strongly about fluoride, it's fluoride free. And then about 2 to 3 times a week, and certainly more this week now that we're doing our detox, I will do an oil pull. And an oil pull is really simple. So you take a little bit of a good quality virgin coconut oil, so a nice organic brand that's unrefined, and I use On Guard, but you can use celery seed, you could use peppermint, a couple different oils you can use there. So you'd put a teaspoon of the coconut oil and 1 drop of On Guard and put that in your mouth and you swish it. Now, if you're new to oil pulling, 5 minutes of swishing might seem like a lot. I usually try to do between 15 to 20 minutes. And I do it while I'm actually making my lemon water and making my tea and putting the dishes away from the night before, whatever I'm doing, I kind of just keep swishing. I used to try to do it when I went out to walk the dog, and then it got a little embarrassing because there were people out walking the dog and I'd try to say hi, but I'm sitting there swishing away. So I now just do it while I'm prepping in the kitchen in the morning. But it's really great, and it helps pull out the toxins. Again, that's an Ayurvedic ritual. And again, it just leaves such a great, sort of cleanliness to your oral routine. It's also really great at breaking down tartar. Like, I've gone to the dentist for the last number of years, and between using my On Guard toothpaste, oil pulling, tongue scraping, all the things that I do, I have like nothing left to scrape at the dentist. which is great. So, you know, I am proving to myself that these things work by going in for my checkups and, you know, not having any issues. And certainly if you're prone to sort of canker sores or anything like that in your mouth, doing these sorts of things will again help reduce those toxins and the bacteria in your mouth, and you know, hopefully reduce all of that for you. So that's where I start. Then I have a quick shot of a squeezed lemon, so half a lemon and a little shot of apple cider vinegar. So just a shot of that, chug it back, kickstart my digestive system, and I take a Terrazyme, which is a digestive enzyme that doTERRA does. So start with that. And then I have a tea, so something warm in the morning, again, is really kickstarts the digestive system again. And so you're really trying to do a few things in the morning. You're trying to get your digestive system going. You're trying to hydrate. So the tea, the lemon, and then after that, I'll drink a large bottle. So I'll fill up one of these glass water bottles, and I'll add a couple drops of my citrus oil. I love green mandarin. A lot of people love grapefruit. There's lime, lemon, wild orange. There's so many really nice citrus oils you can add to your water. And again, those are super cleansing and great for the digestive system. So then I'll have that bottle of water. And then I'll try to have another bottle of water sometime through the morning as well. So I'm really trying to replenish all my fluids first thing in the morning. And again, I do that because I know sometimes I just get busy during the day and I forget to drink my water, right? So if I try to get in all this really good stuff for me first thing in the morning while I'm in control, then I'm, you know, setting myself up for success. I also try not to check my phone first thing in the morning as well, because that sometimes can create anxiety for us, get us sidetracked thinking about, you know, 100 different things. And I really just am trying to focus on me in the morning, right? And so right now my routine, I'm up at 6, I'm prepping all this stuff by 7, I'm doing my workout, which is on my phone. So, which is fine. So by 7 o'clock, but I've now gone in and I've just logged in to my phone to get the exercise video. I'm not in there, you know, scrolling around most mornings. I try to, again, not have that going. And again, getting in my exercise. So getting in my exercise in the morning so that I don't lose track of it through the day. After working out, there's so many great, I said, supportive oils for that sort of thing. So you can use the Deep Blue Rub, you can use the Aroma Touch, which is the massage blend, and I said the turmeric is really great if you suffer from sort of any joint pain as well. And then I will probably have a smoothie sometime around 9 o'clock. So one of the other great things you can do for your digestive system is give yourself that digestive window. So I try to finish eating by around 7 p.m., which can be a challenge some nights when things are busy, but I can finish that by 7 and then try not to eat again until outside of sort of the tea and the lemon water, but nothing solid until around 9 a.m. And what that does is gives your body that window to really start the natural detox process, because you have a digestive window, which is about 8 hours. So when you are continually eating, your body, all of its energy is going towards the digestion, and not a lot of cleansing and detoxing is happening. But we're designed to detox naturally. But because we live in a society where we have an abundance of food and we tend to eat on the go and eat late and just, you know, grab a cereal bar first thing in the morning, without sort of contemplating what that window looks like. And that's the sort of the premise behind intermittent fasting and why that can be so effective for people. But so I try to give myself more than a 12-hour window if I can. 12 is the minimum, and that really does let your body start that sort of natural detox process. So that's kind of the morning bit. I said the smoothie, always integrate my smoothies, oils into my smoothies. So I love making a mint chip smoothie. Smoothies should always have a really nice protein, a bit of fat. The fats in the smoothie are going to make you feel satiated, so make you feel full longer. So if you feel like when you have a smoothie you're still kind of hungry after, you just need to have a little bit more fat in that. And using an avocado or a little MCT oil, or even little just coconut milk, something like that in the smoothie is a really great way. And then get your greens. You can hide kale and spinach. I just buy frozen chopped kale and spinach. You throw that in the smoothie. You can never tell it's in there. Even my girls purposely put it in because that's the way to appease me, and they can't taste it. So if you use the frozen stuff, it blends in nice. It keeps it nice and cold, and it's super easy, and you don't have to worry about it going off too if you're not using it fast enough. And then also being able to add any sort of nut milk, coconut water, add some frozen berries. So many great things you can do with the smoothies, and then integrating the oils in there. When you if you just make a vanilla protein smoothie, you can add a couple drops of wild orange to that and make like that creamsicle taste. You can add turmeric to a smoothie. You can add turmeric to a latte in the evening. There's so many ways, again, to integrate those oils into the food. And then probably one of the most important things that I do is the supplementation with my smoothie. So doTERRA has what is called the LLV. So it's this trio, which is a vitamin and mineral supplement, all your omegas, and then an essential oil complex for sort of cellular health. And what I do is, because I also then take the digestive enzymes through the day, and this week during the detox, we're also using Zendocrine, which is a detoxification blend. I have this little tower thing that I purchased on Amazon, and this is what I do for my supplements. So I have a morning, afternoon, and evening, and this keeps me super organized. And again, just having the routine of every Sunday morning, I sort of put that together. I've got it ready to go, and I don't need to think about it now, right? So I've built that healthy habit into what is just a routine. So I grab my smoothie, I grab my supplements, and I'm ready to go, and I don't need to open 4 or 5 bottles and whatever. I just grab this, and when I was going to the office every day, I would just throw this in my purse, so I had it at lunchtime. It was always sort of with me, so I never forget to take my supplements. And then if I didn't remember if I took it at lunch, I'd know because it was there, still sitting in its little spot. So having, again, a system and a routine of things really can help take sort of the stress out of it, or make it a little less overwhelming when you're trying to integrate sort of these new healthy habits. So throughout the day, I'm diffusing probably a few times through the day. Certainly when I would sort of sit down at the desk in the morning, I'm going to put on the diffuser, run it for an hour or two, really just cleanses the air, especially when I was in the office, trying to, again, just we work in constant AC, so just this recycled air all the time. I like to have my diffuser going to sort of cleanse the air in my office, and it really is nice and welcoming. I know I always have people coming into my office going, "Oh, it smells so good in here. Can I stay for a chat?" Sort of thing, and it's really great. So, and then I just like the uplifting elements of being able to diffuse too in mid-afternoon. And depending, if you've got some cravings you're trying to curb, something with cinnamon, so like the On Guard blend that's super cleansing, but also has that cinnamon in it, which can help curb cravings. Peppermint's really good for cravings. So having, diffusing some of those is really good in the afternoon. And then always have your oils where you are. So I know most of you, when you sort of get your kit, and you've got a kit of 10 oils, and so that means you only have the one lemon. So the lemon lives wherever in the kitchen or what have you. But over time, as you start to get a little bit of a collection, you always keep your empty bottles, because then what you can do is you've got now 2 lemon bottles, pour half in the empty bottle, and now you can keep one in the bathroom, and you can keep one on your desk and one in the kitchen. So because you can use that lemon oil in the kitchen for cleaning, you can use it for cooking. So you always want to have that in the kitchen, but you might also want it on your desk to diffuse in the middle of the afternoon, or to put a couple drops in your water. So there's a great way to always have your oils where you are. And then again, it takes the effort out of using them and makes it, again, just simple and part of your routine. Okay, then the evening sort of routine with the oils. And So skincare, for sure. Being able to clean your skin and nourish your skin with the oils. The floral oils, like lavender and rose, frankincense, is amazing for your skin. There's so many really great supportive oils for your skin. And doTERRA does an entire skin line, which is lovely, creamy, rich. Love it. And you can also add a little bit of an extra bit of oil to it if you wish. They're all infused with the oils already, but if you like a little extra punch, or you've had a little bit too much sun one day and you want to treat your skin, add a little extra drop of lavender and frank in there, and that's really great for your skin. So there's the skincare routine. And then taking a bath. I never used to take baths because it felt like a waste of water and a waste of time, and now I appreciate all the benefits of taking a bath, which is a little bit of time for me, and an opportunity to really just let my body rest. And I'd love to be able to just sort of float and feel that sort of, you just take the weight off all of your joints and your bones, and just, it's really, really great and therapeutic. And then when you put the right things in the tub, that's also helping with that sort of detox process. So you put baking soda in, so say you'd have a cup of baking soda, depends how much water you're looking at, but you may have a half a cup of baking soda to a cup or two of Epsom salts. So nice clean Epsom salts. Don't get the scented ones because chances are they're done with some sort of fragrance. So get plain Epsom salts and then add your oils to it. And one of the things you want to do when you're putting oils in the tub is have the last few bits of you can put a whole cup of Epsom salts in the tub, but then leave a little bit in your palm of your hand and add your oils to that, and then pull that into the tub and swish it around there. Because if you just drop the oil on the top of the tub, it's sitting on the surface and it's just going to evaporate, because I said they're aromatic, and especially with the warm water, they're going to evaporate. So you put them on the Epsom salts and put it into the bath, and then you're going to get more of that benefit. You can also use that as a little bit of a scrub before, so you've got a handful with oils in it, and you can literally just sort of scrub down your body before you get into the tub, which also will give you another benefit as well. And yeah, so that's a great way to sort of detox and relax at the end of the day. The diffuser, I always have the diffusers going probably about 30 minutes before we climb into bed. So just so that it's already infused in the air, I'll set them to run for a couple hours. They'll turn off automatically. If you've got one that's set for say 2 hours, it does turn off. Or if you've only got a little bit of water in it, they turn off automatically when they're dry. So you don't have to worry about turning them off at night. You can just let them run. The types of oils I would use for that would be Serenity, lavender, Breathe for anybody who has respiratory or sort of snoring challenges. You can use that one. And then I always try to remember to turn my cell phone off. Now, if you have a central charging station somewhere in the house, I think that is ideal. I, unfortunately, am still using my phone as my alarm, which I have bought this other alarm, and one of these days I'm gonna hook it up, because for some reason it's not as intuitive as it needs to be, but it's one that actually like lights up the room like the sunrise, which is how our bodies are designed to wake up. So I'm going to spend some time figuring that thing out, but for now I still use my phone as my alarm, which is a habit I said I really want to break. But what I do then is I put my phone on airplane mode for night. Having the cellular in your home in the evening when you don't need it is a challenge in itself. So we already have a lot of EMF, so there's the frequency of the Wi-Fi in our homes can wreak havoc on our bodies. That is an area being researched lots, and that is, the reason to be careful about wireless earbuds and wireless anything in your home. So if you can reduce that while you sleep, and not have your phone right beside your bed, and also put it on airplane mode so it's not receiving those signals through the night, is a great way to not only turn off from scrolling at the end of the night, but also to reduce that EMF exposure. And then trying to, if you're a journaler, spend some time journaling. read a real book. Again, having screen time at night is hard on your body because your body is actually trying to, again, we rise with the sun, we set with the sun. That's how we're meant to be. And so when we have all this artificial light on us all the time, it is messing with our melatonin production, and it's not creating the right opportunity for us to get a good night's sleep. So just reading a book instead of having that sort of blue light and the screen time is really important as well. And then there's, I like to do a sleep meditation. So I use the Calm app, or doTERRA's also created this new app, the Adaptive app, which has all these really great meditations, and they use some voice activated technology as well, which is really cool. And so I'll just play one of those so I get into bed and I just listen to it, and it's so calming and relaxing, and it helps take your mind off of the day, and it helps take your mind off of tomorrow, because I know you can get into bed and then your mind's just racing with all the things that you either need to do tomorrow, or all the things you didn't get done today, or whatever that looks like. And so it's a good way to just bring your focus somewhere else and be able to just fall asleep. And sometimes it's breathing, sometimes it's just even you're laying there and you're having that, it's a guided meditation. So they're like, okay, so just release and relax your face muscles, and you'd be surprised how much tension you're holding in your face until you actually have to think about releasing that tension. So, and one of the other things I love to do is take the Aroma Touch, which is the massage blend, or the Deep Blue Rub, just a little bit, and just rub my neck and the back of my shoulders. And again, just so relaxing to take that tension off from sort of sitting at the desk all day, or any of the sort of stress that you might have. Really does help just sort of bring that back a little bit. So again, just self-care is not selfish. It's the opposite of that, right? It does really give you an opportunity to be your best, and when you bring your best to a situation, everybody wins. So please think about what you would like your ideal day to look like and design it, right? Think about what time would you need to get up to achieve those things that are most important to you, and how do you create that sort of protected time for yourself. And I know it's not easy and it's not ideal if you have small children, or you work shift work, or any of those things, but find a way to make some of that happen for yourself, and you'll be surprised at the amount of how it will impact you both mentally and physically. So, and for those of you who are just maybe joining in for one of our first classes, we run these classes every Tuesday night. I've switched it to 7:30, hoping that it'd be a little bit easier for not only my own family, because sometimes we were rushing to finish dinner and get set up for 7, but also for everybody else who is also still trying to, like I said, wrap up the day and be able to settle in and actually just enjoy and relax our class. So 7:30 Tuesday nights, we're here and kind of do a different topic every week. I send out a calendar at the beginning of the month, so if you'd like to message me an email address, I'd be happy to add you to the mail group, so you can get those updates, or you can follow me on Insta at QLifeKY. And mostly I will be posting classes, notifications of classes there as well. And also, just if you don't already have your oils and you're interested, you can message me, and we can help get you set up on a wholesale account where you get 25% discount on your oils, or even get you set up on an LRP, which is our loyalty reward program, where you can earn up to 55% off on your oils and all your supplements. And really, the most invaluable part of this whole thing for me and the last number of years that I've been using doTERRA has been this community. Things like this detox that we're running this week, like I had no idea what a tongue scraper was 3 years ago, and now I will never be without my tongue scraper. And the concept of oil pulling was also really foreign to me, but there's so many amazing habits and rituals and things that you can pick up through this community, and just starting to really open your mind to a different sort of wellness and lifestyle. So hope you enjoyed the class, and if you've got any questions, as always, please feel free to reach out. That's what I'm here for. Have an awesome week, everybody, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.